If your garage looks like a shovel, and a rake had a fight and nobody cleaned up after, you already know the problem. Most of these organizers make big promises about weight capacity and hook count, and a lot of them quietly fall short once real tools are hanging on them. I actually dug into 8 of them, specs and reviews included, so you don't have to guess. Let's start with the one I'd skip. Number 8 is the TVKB 68-inch all-metal garden tool organizer, and it's a step up in raw hanging strength but comes with an assembly quirk worth knowing about. This one ships as 4 separate 17-inch metal sections, each one already pre-fitted with hooks, and you install all 4 side by side to build out the full 68 inches. It uses 2 hook types, rubber-coated S hooks that are rated for 66 pounds each, and fixed L hooks rated for 33 pounds each, so the actual per hook capacity here blows the Wallman out of the water. The company calls this free assemble, meaning the hooks come pre-attached to each panel, so you're not screwing in individual hooks one at a time. The catch is that assembled only applies to the hooks, not the wall installation. You're still mounting 4 individual panels to the wall yourself, using 20 screws and 20 dowels, and lining up 4 separate seams so the whole thing reads as one continuous rack instead of 4 mismatched chunks. If your wall studs don't cooperate with a 17-inch section width, you'll be doing some improvising. It's a genuinely strong hanging system once it's up, just budget more patience for the install than pre-assembled implies. Number 7 is the UUP 48-inch garage tool organizer wall mount, and this is a straightforward, no-drama middle-of-the-pack pick. It's rated to hold 440 pounds, which is a real jump up from the 2 organizers we just covered. And the listing emphasizes designated slots and compartments rather than just a row of identical hooks. So the idea is that different tool shapes each get their own spot, instead of fighting for the same hook. At 48 inches, it's a reasonable size for a single-car garage wall section or a shed, without eating your whole wall. The honest gap here is that this listing doesn't have the volume of visible, verifiable buyer feedback that some of the other organizers on this list have, so I can't point you to a specific pattern of praise or complaints, the way I can elsewhere. What you're getting is a solidly spec'd, mid-capacity rack with a compartment-style layout, but going in with less crowdsourced confidence than some competitors. If you like the numbers on paper and don't need a mountain of reviews to feel good about a purchase, it's a reasonable pick. Just know you're trusting the spec sheet more than a track record here. Number 6 is the ZICANYCO Garage Tool Organizer Wall Mount, 48 inches with 10 adjustable heavy-duty hooks. This one is rated to hold up to 400 pounds, and the hooks themselves are PVC wrapped rather than just rubber dipped, which should hold up a bit better against cracking over time, compared to thinner rubber coatings. The panel design is described as upgraded, with evenly spaced holes, so you can reposition all 10 hooks anywhere along the track, which matters if your tool collection is a mix of long-handled and short-handled items that don't space out evenly. Installation uses 16-inch screw spacing, so like most of these, it wants to land on studs for full strength. Where this one is honestly a bit of an unknown is real-world testing over time. The spec sheet is solid and the design details are thoughtful, but I didn't find a deep well of independent buyer feedback to confirm how the PVC coating or the adjustable panel holds up after a year of actual garage use. Treat the numbers as manufacturer stated until you've got more data points to lean on. Number 5 is the Unaikoo Garden Tool Organizer Wall Mount, the 48-inch pegboard style version. And this is where capacity starts getting genuinely serious. It's rated for 550 pounds, built from alloy steel, and comes with 15 hooks across 3 rails. 6 dual hooks, 3 single hooks, and 6 S hooks, so you get real variety in how you space and size what you're hanging. The pegboard-style rail lets you slide hooks to new positions instead of being locked into fixed spacing, which is genuinely useful once you actually start hanging things and realize your first layout guess was wrong. Buyer feedback on this listing specifically calls out fast installation and appreciates having lots of spaces for lots of tools, along with comments describing it as sturdy and a good value for the price. Now for the honest catch, reviews have also flagged the Anchor hardware as underwhelming, and this rack is one that really wants to go into a wall stud to hit its full rated strength. If your garage doesn't have a stud in a convenient spot, your mounting options get more limited than the spec sheet suggests. Strong numbers, just don't skip the extra step of finding real studs before you commit to where it hangs. Now here's something worth knowing before we get further down this list. The 2 highest rated picks here don't use the same style of rack at all, and one of them isn't even something you screw into drywall. We'll get there. Number 4 is the YueTong all-metal garden tool organizer, specifically the 3-pack configuration that builds out to 51 inches. Each section measures 17 by 4.8 inches and comes with 5 orange rubber-coated hooks, plus 6 fixed black hooks. So per section, you're getting a real mix of soft grip and rigid hanging points. Bob Vila's review of this organizer priced it at $29.99, which puts it meaningfully below almost everything else on this list. Worth double-checking the current price and exact pack size before you buy, since YueTong sells this same design in 3-pack, 4-pack, and other section counts at different price points. What makes this one worth including isn't raw weight capacity bragging rights, it's the modularity. Because it's sold in expandable multi-packs, you can start with a shorter run and add more sections later if you end up needing more hanging space, rather than committing to one fixed length up front. It's a simple, no-frills design without the pegboard adjustability of the Unaikoo, but for the price, it's a sensible entry point if your tool collection is still growing. Number 3 is the TIDYME Garage Tool Organizer Wall Mount, 48 inches with 3 racks and 6 hooks. And this is the pick with the most documented track record for its price movement. It's built from carbon steel, measures 48 by 8.5 by 4 inches, weighs about 8 pounds, and is rated to hold 300 pounds. TIDYME is a small business based in Miami, Florida, and this exact rack has shown up repeatedly in deal coverage. It regularly lists around $80 but gets discounted to roughly $40 to $50 fairly often, and it's been reported as the top seller in Amazon's garage storage system hardware category. That combination of frequent visibility and a consistent price pattern gives you more to go on than a listing with a handful of reviews and no history. 300 pounds is on the lower end of what's on this list, so if you're trying to hang a lot of heavy power equipment, it may not be the max capacity choice. But for a standard mix of shovels, rakes, and hand tools, at a price that's rarely actually $80 if you catch it on sale, it's a genuinely dependable, well-documented pick. Number 2 is the Gatsowm Garage Tool Organizer Wall-Mounted, the 64-inch 20-piece version, and this is the strongest weight rating on the entire list at 900 pounds. You get 12 hooks total, 8 double long hooks measuring 8.15 inches each, plus 4 smaller J-hooks, spread across 4 rails, along with 4 separate storage straps for things like extension cords or hoses that don't hang well on a hook. It's built from solid steel with a powder-coated finish, and Gatsowm has been making heavy-duty wall shelving and storage racks since 2004, so this isn't a brand new listing with no manufacturing history behind it. A review site tracking this exact product reported a 4.5-star rating, and the visible buyer comments on the listing describe it as easy to install, functional, and strong enough to hold a full set of shovels, rakes, and gardening equipment without issue. If your garage genuinely has a lot of heavy gear, think ladders, power tools, and long-handled equipment all sharing wall space, this is the rack on this list, built to carry that load without blinking. Before we get to the final one, here's the honest split. One of these is the highest capacity, most track-tested wall rack on this list, and the other isn't a wall rack at all. It's the only organizer here you don't have to drill a single hole to use. Number 1 is the Unaikoo Garden Tool Organizer, the 3-tier yard tool rack with wheels, and it's a completely different approach from everything else on this list. Instead of mounting to a wall, this is a freestanding cart with 22 tool slots, each one designed to hold 1 or 2 tools with a normal handle, plus 4 extra clips, specifically for tools with a D-grip handle that don't fit a standard slot. The bottom section is a wheeled drawer that keeps smaller tools off the ground and makes the whole thing easy to roll out of the way or move between the garage and the yard. This is the pick I'd point renters toward, or anyone who doesn't want to commit to drilling into a wall, or whose garage walls are already spoken for by shelving or a workbench. The honest trade-off is that a rolling cart takes up floor space a wall rack doesn't, and it's inherently less stable under heavy load than something bolted directly into studs. Great for organization and mobility. Not the pick if raw weight capacity is your main concern. So here's how I'd sort all this by what you actually need. If you want the single highest weight capacity for heavy power equipment, the Gatsowm 20-piece at 900 pounds is the strongest number on this list. If you rent or don't want to drill into a wall at all, the Unaikoo rolling 3-tier cart solves that problem completely. If you want the best documented value with a real discount history, the TIDYME 48-inch is the one with receipts. And if budget and brand track record matter less to you than pure build quality and a lifetime warranty, the Store Your Board modular rack is worth ordering off Amazon entirely to get. Whatever you pick, double-check the current weight rating and price on the listing before you buy. These specs shift between variants more than you'd expect. If this saved you from buying a rack that can't actually hold your tools, subscribe for more spec-checked buying guides like this one, and drop a comment telling me which of these is going on your garage wall.